I loved it as well. It was juicy.
It's very, very juicy indeed. Thank you so much. I love the recording. I love to have the recording. I love to share it. I think there were so many nuggets in there for so many people to be helpful, you know?
I agree. Yeah, and I so love how freely you share yourself.
Mm,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Same to you. I love you. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming.
I
Yeah.
saw I saw my Kermit on my I have a Kermit puppet. I gotta go get him because did you end up playing the green song?
Last week, I I'm not sure.
Probably
No,
not.
I don't think so. Yeah.
No.
So if you fetch a link, we'll play it.
Ah, that's all good. We'll think of Magic School Bus and Kermit and all kinds of other fun things.
That
Who else?
Magic School Bus show is so good. I've never seen it before. I saw it when I got tagged in Goodify. I was like, what? Been missing all this time for this. I mean, kids must have loved it before in the past. Is it still going as a show?
Yeah, don't know. My kids are 27 and 30 now, so no
Okay,
idea.
gotcha.
Who
Yeah,
else?
it's totally reminded me of the bus we're building. It kind of looks like it. It just doesn't turn into submarine in a spaceship. Yeah, we didn't have this in Europe growing up at all. And I was not allowed to watch TV anyways. So there's that.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, it has its good and bad
It has
effects
benefits. It does. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, did you guys have a chance to check out that tool I shared, the tarot thing?
I want to
I
do it.
did. I had a question this morning, trying to decide what to do this weekend,
Yeah.
and it didn't quite feel right, and I got my no answer.
Yeah, it's funny how sometimes tarot are spot on. I have a deck somewhere. It's like a artist edition that has really beautiful pictures in it. I don't know where is it, but sometimes I pull it out. I mean, when I know where it's at, like I just moved here and a lot of things are still in boxes and have no idea what is where type of thing. But this too is kind of like flipping a coin, a yes and no answer. And if you guys want to, we can all do it together now. We, we don't have to share the thing that we're thinking about. We can like have a question in our mind and then we draw a card or whatever and see. You wanna? Um, Let me see now. So if I share a screen, I would just share from any and then see what's sharing. Okay, we're sharing this, I guess. And that was like the last, no, before that. Oh, no. Hold on. Here. Can you see my screen where it says new tarot tool for answers?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm clicking and accessing. That GIF is so funny. Okay. Okay, yeah. So here's the tool, and we need to pick a card. So
Oh,
uh, let's come up with a question, yes or no answer only, and take a deep breath and scale. All right. Are you ready? I want to pick the middle one.
We can't see what you're seeing, or I can't anyway.
Oh shit! Really? Okay. Can you
There,
see now?
there we
Oh,
go.
okay. Thank you so much, James. Um, okay. So take a deep breath and ask a yes or no question. Exhale, and let's pick a card. I guess someone has to pick a card. Can you
What
guys
kind of
hear me?
what
Uh,
kind of questions? Give us
oh,
examples.
okay. Yeah. So my question is, am I going to get to go on a bike ride today? So
Okay.
it could be something as silly as,
Okay.
am I going on a bike ride, or am I uh, going to have lunch with my friends, or uh, should I wear underwear? You know? Or it could be very deep, like something with your business. The first time I got the tool, I was going really deep with very business questions that, not that they're preoccupying my mind most of the time, but like I'm always contemplating how to add more value, growth, and contribution to our tribe. And oftentimes, you know, I get too much thinking, like overthinking things. We all do, I know, and that's also a choice. So I leave it, right, and I come back to it and think with a fresh mind, and that's my process. But yeah, I did ask a few pretty strong questions the first time I got the tool. And the funny part was that the answer was yes and then no to the same question. Okay. And then a yes again. So I'm like, well, which, which one is it? So it's really for shits and giggles. But hey,
Yeah.
like people flip a coin for something, that's kind of the same way I look at it. So it could
Mm.
be anything. So I'm going to stick with my bike question. Am I going on a bike ride today? So should we pick a card?
Yes, the middle one.
Okay, maybe. Yes, I'm going on a bike ride. Awesome.
Shouldn't you go for a bike ride every day?
Yeah, yeah. Every day is a good day for a bike ride. It's just right now the seasons are changing. So one day it's perfect weather. The next day is windy and cold as fuck, where you don't want to be on the bike. I still do it, but dress a lot. Like when it's very windy and cold, I wear sweaters and beanies and all kinds of stuff on, and that actually makes a very big difference. It is still enjoyable, uh, but also I do have a lot of work to do. That you know, I want to take most of the load before I go to any bike rides and things. And that's a scam call. Okay, stop sharing so we can get big. Hi. Hi, David. Long time no see. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Long time no see as well. I enjoyed that card thing. Is that, did you make that app or are you just using it or?
No, no. Someone made it, and I shared it in the tribe. It's a tool for just yes and no questions.
Yeah.
Actually, it's done by using the artifacts of Claude,
Yeah.
honey. Oh yeah. So I shared it in the tribe as a post where it says like new tool. It's like my second to the last post. So grab it and maybe copy it to your notes. Sometimes if you need a decision of should I eat vanilla ice cream or chocolate or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
What's
cool.
your yeah, I thought so. I might add it to the classroom for one of the tools. I have like other tools that I have in mind that I want to add that are just cool to use, sometimes. And
I,
some of them
I
are made by our tribers.
I really like it because sometimes we get into that state of, overthinking and like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? And you can just go to that and be like, okay, I will go with this. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think before you came, I was just saying that
Oh,
oftentimes I sit and overthink of something, you know, should I do this or should I do that? And then the more I think, the more confusing it gets, and there's like all this other layer of pros and cons that come in, and then I just leave it and come back later. Usually,
yeah.
what's your process of decision making?
What's my process of decision making? I like if it's a like a serious something serious, I like to meditate on it. So, you know how I do singing bowls, and I just like sound in general. So I can turn on like meditative music and give myself like 5 minutes, and then meditate on that question and just write anything that comes out, and then read through it and see what came out through that. Kind of, I don't know, um, some people call it downloads or whatever, but just messages that come through as you're doing the meditation, and use that as guidance of what I should do next. So really aligning with myself, my inner self, instead of like what I should logically do.
Mm.
Instead, go kind of in and what is what is I don't know how to say that, but what am I supposed to be doing? Kind of, yeah.
Right, makes
That
sense.
makes, so
I was
what about
contemplating on that yesterday about I made a post about intuition, and I was thinking that I heard some feedback. It's like, "Ah." um, yeah, and I was thinking that the decisions that are aligned, they come from intuition, and then you do need the logic to strategize. How are you going to place everything? And just like in business, you get like all these crazy ideas, and the crazier the better. But then you would need to logically strategize them in order to work a certain way, like like doing a lunch even. It's like really cool to be excited. Oh yeah, I'm doing a lunch like tomorrow. But the fact of the matter is that you would have to come up with where you're going to place, and then ask the people about availability and pricing and all that 9 yards, and whether there is even demand for that thing. So I just recently saw that in one of our tribers too, and it's amazing that he got really excited to launch something, but he was also way too fast. And then I noticed that he pulled out the next day, and it was like, I need more time. I'm like, yes, that is. And that's where I started to think, yes, the logic comes in the strategy of how you orchestrate everything. So both
yeah,
things are really important with decision making, right?
yeah,
Make the right decision and then make the strategy for executing it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I
think
I
it
like.
is.
Mm, go ahead. Sorry.
What I'm thinking is it is great and important to have that marriage, so to speak, between our multi dimensions. And what I would like to add is as you're strategizing, just like this triber that you mentioned, to continue to tune in to higher guidance for the strategies that you come up with. And it's like an ongoing, like a couple, like a marriage.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, in his case, he's newer to school and doing really well for the short amount of time he's here. Um, However, with with a lot of new people, is the pressure of making money and making money now. And that sometimes comes back to you and burns you, and you get burned out because a lot of people listen to all these other people, and there's a lot of noise when you have
Yeah.
like multiple sources of information, and they sometimes contradict, and then you're spread thin too many directions. So back to meditation and coming to your core and what's aligned to you is super important. And ask the two questions: who do I want to work with, and what do I want to do? Because it's important to like the people you work with. Like I mentioned yesterday on the call with you, honey, that client that I lost, I'm like, I don't fucking need this person in my life or her money.
Mhm.
It's better that way. And it's so amazing when you work with people that you actually really like and vibe with versus just with anyone, Joe Schmo. And then what do you want to do? Like the type of work? Because you can do so many things.
It's all about alignment, right? In all these
Mm-hmm.
different areas.
Yeah. How about you, James? How do you make decisions?
Let me unmute here, and I'll tell you. Very similar to who was just talking. Not
David, honey, David.
yeah, just going into my body. Basically, it's you could call it intuition, but my philosophy. One thing, we just have like millions and millions and millions of bits of information coming into our body all the time, like every second, like 20 million bits of information coming in, and so we have this delayed mode network that sort of filters it out, so we're not just always in a constant, hallucinogenic space. But we can widen that aperture, you know what I mean? And that aperture is beyond the 40 bits of information that our, you know conscious mind can process. It's that feeling and that sensation. So just dropping into the body more and more, um, and developing that faculty to listen, to name, and then to be able to discern what that means. Because of all the conditioning, we'll have these perceptions that will misinterpret what that information is. So we have to take some time to learn that language. But from there, you know, yeah, you can get a pretty clear yes and no on just about anything, and then you can fall off the sort of like, cover it up and come back to it. But it's kind of like that idea, mind once changed can never go back. You can go off and get distracted and go off your path, but you can, once you have that understanding, you can come back fairly quickly. So yeah, listening to the body, sensation based awareness.
I love that. For you. And I saw that in your course too. I went through two of your courses in your classroom, and that was. I mean, I knew that we were having a lot of bits of information at the same time, but it was mind blowing when you said the number, and then how you can expand that.
There's a really good book. Well, in some ways it's tangential, but it's a good book. It's called The User Illusion. This Danish guy. I mean, it's a read, but man, it really gets into like what is the functioning, how does that all function in the body and in the mind and consciousness, like what is consciousness anyway. It's pretty deep stuff.
Yeah, you can go in a rabbit trail looking into this stuff, the stuff that they don't teach us in schools.
The Tao of Physics is another good one. Anything by Fritjof Capra just dives into that stuff. So it I think I went through a long time. No, I know I went through a long time. Like, how does this shit work? What is going on? What's the answer or the trick or the, the magic here, and I went down a lot of paths in my time, a lot of spiritual and meditation and all kinds of stuff, and coming at it from this place of like, this actually happens. This is stuff that actually happens. It's not like a esoteric, you kind of have to get touched by a guru or, have some kind of enlightenment experience. This is stuff that actually happens. And we can learn how to not just kind of navigate it and be dragged around by our nose, but actually um, direct that energy, direct that knowledge where we want it to go, and yeah, that was a really powerful messages that came through reading some of these. And you still get to that point where you're like, well, what the fuck is consciousness really? Like, 'cause it's just like it's like that mushy and tangible. But yeah,
There's another layer of everything.
yeah,
Yeah, and what you're talking about, there's a lot of people were calling it manifestation of where
mhm.
you place your attention and what you focus on actually grows. It could be good and bad at the same time.
And it can be a hell of a lot of fun. We don't have to take it too damn serious. I'll tell you that. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I'm loving about this community and you and the people that I'm really connecting with here on school and whatnot. Is because you know, man, there's just an enlivening to all of this, and people that are really living in that way. Instead of just that kind of constant grind and
Mm.
it's serious. We got to get serious about this shit. It's like
Yeah.
put on a shiny shirt and dance, son of a gun.
Yeah, I loved your dance that you shared with the in the mayor's community and in Gosify. Awesome.
There is a new culture forming here on school, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fun and
And
supportive.
yeah, fun and also with depth. The combination of fun, light, and deep,
Hmm.
it's very tasty.
Yeah, like our convo yesterday was
Yeah.
like I got off of the call. Like I had a lot of stuff to do after that, and you were asking, well, should we go into the meditation? And we both said we gotta go. And I got off of the call, because I had to do a lot of stuff after that, like physical labor. But before that, I got off of the call and I was like, damn, that was one of the most honest conversation in my life that I had ever had.
Mhm.
And it wasn't planned. It just it popped out. And like shit like that happens in school, where or just like end up in a random place or a random room with not so random people. And then there's
Yeah.
like so many things that come into light that we never thought about or didn't plan logically.
I love it. What I'm also noticing as you're speaking is that there's this saying like attracts like, and I think there are simply evolved beings here that are clustering into this ecosphere in this space, and school provides the container to so easily recognize your like-minded peer
Hmm.
and then connect. So there's this beautiful ground for what's happening here. Yeah, and you're dancing, James.
Yeah, I was vibing. Yeah, I agree with that so much. It's the like attracts like. It's easily recognizable. It's just like from the comments, because kind of reading in between the lines, finding your people. Kind of like what we were talking yesterday about the energies of how, as kids, we view people as energy and not necessarily as faces. And me, until today, I don't recognize faces. And we see the vibe, and that's how we feel when we're kids. And that's how it feels like when we're in school. You see the vibe and not necessarily the person.
Mhm.
And until you go into a life goal, and then you're like, oh, that's what this person looks like, or whatever.
I'm feeling the goosebumps because I'm thinking how much more meaning Vibin has now once you shared, how you see the world and how you see people. Maybe you want to share more here.
Sure. So I live in LA, and it's a very big place, and I play a lot of shows, and also have pretty big social media following. So, sometimes people were like, "Hi, I'm Joe from Facebook," and I'm like, "Hi, Joe from Facebook." But anyway, and in real life too. So I don't remember people's faces and names. So when I was little, I always thought that's something that's, like a negative thing, that there's something wrong with me for not remembering names and faces. It's just, I don't know. I would mostly remember a brown hair or glasses, but not anything identifying this individual. And it has happened very often to where like somebody walks up to me and they talk to me on first name, not even my artist name, like, "Hi, Rosita, la la la," and I would be like, at first, before it was, do we know each other? And then later it became to, "Who the fuck are you?"
Who the fuck are you?
Hi, Sophie.
Who the fuck are you? Hello. Hi,
That's
everyone.
fine. Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, that was not for you. And my dog is like, "Hi, Sophie." He's like whining next to me. Yeah, that was not for you. It was. I was just saying that I don't recognize faces and and names. So I would say, "Who the fuck are you?" to somebody. And then later on, I was okay with that, and it was like nothing wrong with me. But I would just be the person that recognizes the energies, and that's how I remember people as their energies, maybe aura, whatever you want to call it. But it's like how they are as a as a being versus how they look like, whether like they're blonde or with black hair, or like skin color, or Asian or not. You know, that it doesn't register in my head. And we were talking about this with Honey yesterday in her call, and then we figured that as kids we were actually thinking that way when we were kids. We weren't really necessarily remembering too much of how other kids look like, but how they made us feel, or the perceiving of them.
Mm.
Curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Are you talking to me, Rosita?
Anyone?
Okay. About energy and perceiving the energy of others?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there in the first bit that you were saying, but perceiving energy from the being of others is part of my daily job. So this is how I work as a facilitator. We use non-cognitive tools, so it's not about judgment with the mental and what's the polarity of judgment with the mental. It's more like perceiving people's energy. So I don't know what you were saying before that, but I know what you're talking about as matter of perceiving energy of people.
Yeah, it all started with I thought I had a problem for not recognizing faces and names, not remembering how somebody looks like, or how what's their name, you
Yeah.
know? But as we get to talk, then I would remember certain conversations that we had before, or like a feeling or a notion of how the person was before, So it would be, I would have this remembering, but without the face and the name. We were like, oh yeah, that's that person, you know?
I think it's an attunement to the reality of I know what David and James spoke earlier about our spiritual realm, where we are, there's more and more revelation, even in the physicists, scientific world, revealing that everything is really energy, even physics. There's actually a video that I want to share in my community around it, where reality really is energy.
Yeah.
And I think that in a musical world, we understand that some people are more attuned to sound and frequency on a musical level. And I think what you're describing is a level of attunement to seeing people and what energy they exude. And I love that you're bringing it to understanding that we are born that way, and children still have that without being overpowered by, we're usually, and I think it's conditioned, where we are conditioned to live mostly in our intellect.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's the schools, I grew up religious, so there's a lot of intellect being exercised, and that can cloud our other senses. Because our intellect, I think, is the only, I don't know if I'm right, it's the only dimension that can lie to us.
Hmm.
So it can truly be cloudy, and it can truly be noisy, especially we can think we believe things or understand things when we're actually just absorbed by how other people think, and it's not always aligned with our own truth or way of seeing things. So it can, the energy in our intellect can be very cluttered. Um, so I love what you're bringing forth as an invitation for all of us to come back home to how we're born and the pureness. You watch children, and yeah, that's how I receive what you shared.
Hmm. Yeah, very true indeed. Well, we get conditioned to so many things as we grow up without noticing necessarily.
Yeah.
Everything is a program.
We live in the matrix.
Exactly. I mean, and the main entertainment is NASA, Disney, and Hollywood. This is the major storyline of our lives.
We have choice, however, to come back home
That's what I was
to
gonna say, yeah.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
our, and to live, and to attune, to adjust the, our senses, to attune to our spirit, like we started the school with. How do we make decisions, and to tune into higher guidance, and and then to be able to see people as energy beings is really advanced. So that's something I aim for.
Yeah. Like if you think about kids, how they go and play on a playground in a, something with sand and slides and swings. They just go and get on the thing and fall, cry some, look at their mom. If the mom is so freaked out, they cry more. If the mom is like, "You're okay," they're like, "Oh, okay." And they keep walking, right? And keep swinging or whatever they were doing. And and that's just so natural, right? And then when we are grown up, we're like, "Oh, I'm going to this party. What am I going to wear? How I'm going to put my hair, my makeup, my earrings, my hop like what I'm gonna talk about, and all these stories that pollutes the whole. Let me just go in there and see what's up.
Yeah.
Like I recently went to a funeral. Well, I guess it's. I don't even know if it's called. It's celebration of life of a friend of mine that passed away, and I still didn't have the heart and to bring myself together to make a post anywhere. But celebration of life, man. That guy, first of all, he is because artists never die. A total legend, absolute legend. He was a living legend while he was alive, and now he's a legend. And he wouldn't have it any other way. The way to die, and then the way to celebrate his life after that. It was a banging party, and he's a big um, DJ and promoter and events bringer of these super big festivals in LA area, and I mean beyond. But him and the original guy were working together that has started EDC Electric Daisy Carnival, over 150,000 people gathering at Las Vegas Speedway each year for that. And now it's like on all continents. So it's a very big show. And like the guy is literally a legend. And he died at the party. He was
A
having,
party.
yeah, he had the best time. He was dancing, and his heart just stopped. And then his celebration of life was a massive party. We were dancing and crying at the same time, with huge slides of him through the years of the different parties, because like it was the iconic club in LA. It's called Avalon, which is like an ancient theater, very Hollywood style that they transformed into a club, and now it's a club. So it's all like looked like a fairy tale with all the big screens with slides of his life, and his daughter with him on many of the pictures, and many, many, many people that he brings joy to. And it was like, what a good way to go.
Yeah,
I
I
kept
guess.
thinking that like he wouldn't have it any other way, you know? Gosh, I don't even know how I drifted away speaking about this. Something triggered that before that. What we were talking about. I just got so sidetracked into
Maybe
this.
you tuned in to my energy. I lost a friend as well. Like I learned about his passing last Sunday. So
Oh, my condolences.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I think there's been a lot of people passing recently. There's this big person from LA as well, a musician. Yeah, who just passed away as well. I don't know. There's a lot of people going at the moment. And he was a very talented British musician as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I drifted away on this. Like, it's something triggered this. Somebody said something before that, but I totally forgot.
I think you were talking about how children live in the moment and
Yeah, yeah.
enjoy the moment. And I
It
think
was,
that's how you spoke about this. I'm not sure.
yeah, it was definitely living in the moment because that's all we have. And being present at that celebration of life of his made me realize that that's all it matters. Living in the moment like he did every single day, and then at the end of the day, looking back and not feel, oh, I should have, oh, I could have. Why? Why didn't you do it? It's so powerful when you realize that life is like a breath. You inhale and you're here, and you exhale, you're out.
Yeah. So
What
who are we
do
today? Who are we
What
today, and what are we going to choose, and what miracles are we going to create?
You know, I can I speak into this or?
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a few years in this game, and it's been an interesting journey to see the way, like, it's coming up. We're in that. Everything's good. I mean, there was a time when, you know, it was just, it felt like I was living between the two worlds, each side of the veil. I was walking this razor's edge. It was incredible. I was crying all the time, and love and heart and all that. And then, you know, it kind of went, whoo, as I went into this other place, you know, and you know, so I've seen this cycle and this movement come in and out, you know, and I like that analogy of the breath, you know, because sometimes there's an expectation that we're gonna get there, and then it's like, oh, it's just gonna be there all the fucking time, you know what I mean? But it just, that's, you know, that's where that spiritual bypass comes in, you know, like, oh, I'm arrived. I tell people, you know, if you think you've arrived, start wiping your ass with your opposite hand, and you will see that you will get shit on your fingers. So, you know, so, and I'm loving this piece because, you know, we been down pretty, you know, into like a, why, you know, it's that germination time, and it's been like 2.5 years, which is like, whoa. And you know, it feels like it's really moving, and part of that is, you know, the attraction, like attracts like. It's an actual scientific thing, you know. Confirmation bias, you know, we say we want a red car, and next thing you know, we see all red cars. We want community, and all of a sudden it shows up. Then the trick is we have to go, okay, I'll do that, it's showing up. You know? So that's, you know, that's that beautiful piece of keeping that child's mind, you know, and allowing that to be, um, yeah, kind of a guiding principle, you know. Yeah, I used to see fairies and gnomes when I was a kid. I swear to God, I was living in that world. You know, when the first time I took psychedelics, it was like, oh, yeah, this is home. This is great. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Comes in and out.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I feel like a lot of the times it's easier to bring yourself into that energy when you're creating. And someone has said, I don't know who, but it's stuck in my head for many years, that creation is the closest to divinity that we can experience as human beings. And why is that? Is because when you are a child, you know, you're born with so much potential, and then you kind of go into this statue made by your environment, certain way, and all of the rest of the potential is there, but it's not developed. And creation on a daily, it gives us access to more and more of that, and feeding it, and sort of like, you know, getting yourself back home
Yeah.
to divinity. And the way we creating, we're all different, you know. Some people paint, some people dance, some people do music, but like, there's no right or wrong way. I might be shit with a paintbrush, but I'm sure that it would be fun to, you know, do it, and that's all it matters. Because, like, back to that, the kids in the playground, they don't care how they swing on the swing. They're perfect,
Yeah.
or they're gonna fall or not. They just do the thing, you know. Like
Well,
with music, the same way. You might play with 2 fingers, chopsticks. You shouldn't care how it's gonna sound, and what are they gonna judge me? What are they gonna say I suck? And like what I did with the didgeridoo. I don't care if people are gonna laugh at me that I'm blowing it wrong or not being able to sustain the breath. I don't give a shit. I will still do it because it's fun.
if you want to, I mean, creation is connected to chaos anyway, and you know, the children, they're in constant sort of chaos, this is why they're so free and creative. And when your artist is the same, it's like you just find your way back to chaos, to just be close to the divine. I mean, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if children feel the chaos. I think it's the adults who want the children to be lined up like ducks,
Oh,
maybe.
I'm not saying the children like feel the chaos. They don't think. It's like thinking stinks, It's like if you
Yeah.
think, you stink, it's you don't want to think. You just want to be, it's
Yeah.
Well, kids also, when they feel that, I mean, if you just leave them alone, they have the ways of processing it, and we put on that veil of intellect or that veil of adulthood, and we
Yeah.
we stop doing it. So like, be silly. They get out there and they make noises and they flap around and they roll around and jump, and they're just, and then that creative energy just gets channeled and dissipated and done with as it needs to be. They don't see chaos and non-chaos. They just see fun and creativity.
yeah.
You know,
You should have
Yeah.
seen me at the MJ film yesterday. Bouncing in and out on my chair, like singing along the film. It's like,
That's awesome.
and my son, who's 14, was just like, "Be quiet." It's like, well, I've just feel my inner child is out there. I grew up with MJ, It's like
my
it's
kids get
normal for me to
regular.
just feel absolutely on the utmost exciting, edge of my life to be there, like bouncing about.
Awesome.
My kids get regularly embarrassed by me.
Yeah, that's
They're probably at the age to where they're thinking more.
yeah.
Well, no, my kids are
Yeah.
adults, but yeah, they
When
still are
my
like,
kids were
"Oh,
young teens, they liked recording me when I was silly or drunk or something. They
Oh,
loved, yeah, they loved recording it. And they love to look back at when I'm silly. It's fun, and we laugh together.
well, now that I think about it, I am embarrassed of my parents sometimes as well. And Valentin here can attest to that. We have the same parents. This is my brother, for some of you that don't know. Yeah. Are you embarrassed of our parents sometimes?
Oh,
And on some people share values with our parents, so they're kind of in sync with them. Other people find some or most of those things as inappropriate in some ways. So it depends. I don't to people from different generations and with different agenda. So it really depends.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, we can just leave it there, but sometimes, oh my god, I'm like, what the actual fuck? uh, that's because we're thinking too much.
yeah. Thinking stinks. Need to be back more in our body
I agree.
instead of our head.
I
Yeah.
wonder how much all of this is related to the word freedom and feeling free as humans.
Oh, we
What,
want to be free, not feeling free.
how
Feel
would we be if we truly felt full freedom? How are we?
Go it naked everywhere, like on Burning Man,
Yeah, infinite beings, Infinite beings with no limitations.
which we are.
Yes, we
Exactly.
are.
But, we still have to process things and come to awareness of, a lot of things because we're constantly in judgment.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
consider other people as well.
hmm?
And consider other people as well, of
Yeah.
how they feel or how we would make them feel with certain actions or behaviors.
Yeah.
I love this life, man. I love being in this body, and so the idea that, there's something else, I just kind of quit thinking about that. You know what I mean? It's like I to differentiate between there and here,
It's
or
all the same, though.
it's
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 all
all
one.
right, exactly. It's all
Yeah.
words. And so it's like, how would it feel to be free? Well, just be free. Just, I mean, like, what would that, do that thing, whatever that thing, that impulse that comes through like a kid, you know, that
Well,
it, it
the invitation of that question is to expand more. It's not to become something else, because we're born free. As children, we're free,
Mhm.
and then we shrink for very good reasons because we want to
Yeah.
survive. And then
Adapt.
and then we have this journey of coming back to as much freedom as we can. And I can be free now and even more free, even more free, even more free. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
can expand our freedom and stretch that a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Just make your head bigger. Just expand your head. Make it like big, big, big.
I
Just
love the
expand.
sensation when it comes through, is that, the total connection to everything. It's like, what is the mind, what is consciousness, can be very intellectual contemplations, but when we realize, like, you feel the air and you feel the breath of the earth, and you realize that they're interconnected and porous, and we're all interchanging
Mhm.
all the time. It does expand that sense of, like, oh, okay, there is all of this, and all of this is me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love that sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
It's
Yeah.
like it's very natural to expand, really, kind of like the universe is always expanding.
Yeah.
The flowers are always growing. The tree, you have to repot this plant because it outgrew that pot. It's like it's always expanding and
Yeah.
evolving, and if it's not, it's dying to transform into something else.
You
And
can do
so are
bonsai with it. You can do bonsai with it. Keep it small.
Ah,
The ultimate conditioning.
yeah, or you can turn it into compost.
There's
Yeah.
a saying by Marianne Williamson that we're not afraid of, I don't know what, but we're afraid of our greatness, right?
Mm.
So, and I think when I think of what you're saying, Ro, is that we're actually always expanding, and I think we're even afraid to think of that concept of always expanding in an unlimited level. Where does that expansion take us?
Right.
Right? So it's like,
Who does it belong to?
I think a lot of it comes down to the limiting beliefs we have, right?
Mhm.
There's so many limiting beliefs that are actually stopping us from that expansion. And how do we go into that, and how do we clear those limiting beliefs and level up so that we do get that expansion? And yeah, I always try to work on that for myself. Is like, where are these limiting beliefs? Am I even aware of them? Right? Because a
Yeah.
lot of the times, what is stopping us is not the limiting belief. It is the limiting belief, but we're not even aware of it.
Mhm.
We're not even aware that this limiting belief is stopping us from expanding into our most authentic self, the best version of ourselves. So being finding or being aware of them and seeing how can we clear them, I think is also a big part of it, a big part of the expansion.
Yeah, once you recognize them and you shine the light or something, well, you can't unsee it. And the more you see it, the more you're observing it, the more you could do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, the way I work with clients is like this. I facilitate with consciousness. So we just always ask, what sort of connection there is with the body between, we reconnect the body to the being. And then once we have that, we just like, the person is like in sort of theta state, and it's like tuning in, and you just ask what's behind it. And usually it just comes, and then we just clear it. We've got magical tools. And then
Magic.
we clear it, and the more we clear it, then the more awareness you gain, and the more question, because the question works like a propulsor. Whenever you are in the question, instead of going in the considerations, because going to the consideration, you're going to be basically bringing density in the matter with the considerations, with the conclusions. As when you open with questions, it's always going to be, hey, what else is possible? What are the infinite possibilities? How does it get better than this? What would you take for this? And then anything that doesn't allow this, then you just destroy and uncreate it all, because you just go back into the quantum, going to the 0 point, and that creates the space for more new choices that you can consciously make. And yeah, I mean, this is how I work every day with my clients, and we're like, it's just amazing, the things that just come up. And the more you clear stuff, the more stuff. It's like an onion you're peeling.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, once you feel that you are in that space and that you're willing to welcome the transformation, uh, it's just amazing, the things that going to come to awareness that you had no idea about 5 minutes before.
Mm, yeah. There's
And
so
Right.
many there's so
yeah,
many layers to it. There's so many
exactly,
layers.
yeah.
And
And
there's so many
we're all in it. We're all in it. It's not
and
like,
there's so many different tools to actually release that kind of those blocks, release that. I really like tuning into the frequencies, the music, and going through it that way to release it. But there's so many different tools, right? And I love that in school we can join different communities, and there are so many beautiful souls who help with that in so many different ways, right? I love it.
yeah. I'd like to find musicians who are tuning in 432, for example. I mean, I'm pretty new here, but over the years, I haven't had the chance to be like writing much music, because I've been raising my son, and we've been traveling for 20 months now, and it's just a lot of logistics to work around, because he's homeschooled. I have to kind of work. I have to, yeah. And music, which was like a huge part of my life, has become this small. But last time I was recording, it just went on to some tracks, and it wasn't recorded in 432. And I'd like to find musicians who are wanting and willing to do that, do that step. And yeah, I'd love to find musicians who work.
I
For,
use
yeah.
432 hertz with my singing bowls whenever I use them. So, and
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of people who do that
Yeah.
here
I
in
have
school.
several albums with 432 hertz, and I have
Amazing.
in 528 as well, but mostly 432. And not just albums, but different tracks in different genres. And then I've been experimenting with that for many, many, many years.
But which
So it's there. Which one?
No, I was with which instruments? With the Tibetan bells, or just the guitar or the piano? Do you have the piano tuned in that, or
Me or David?
yeah, both of you? Like,
Yeah. So yeah, I have a crystal bowl that's 432 hertz with
hmm,
rose quartz, and then I tune my piano according to that bowl. and
nice.
and then also the albums that uh, I was talking about, like some of them are just piano tracks with different songs in them that compile the album. And then I have a few EDM albums that are like, electronic dance music in 432.
That's amazing.
So everything is tuned to 432, and also there is like an underlying frequency of stable 432 frequency on the back end of the track, to where like it's not audible per se, for it's there, but it's very subtle in a way to where like it's not a constant. It is constant, but like you can't hear it because of the everything else that's happening in the track. So on a very subtle level, but all of them are layered with that frequency,
Mm.
the bass frequency.
Amazing. That is
Because
really
my
cool.
bass and my guitar, like I've been playing in 432 for many years now, and it carries my voice on, much better. But it's just, as soon as I want to get with summer musicians in London, for example, they're all like, stuck with the other stuff, and
Mhm.
I'm having trouble to find some orchestration and just get everything in 432. I think it would be so much better.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot into that. You can really go on a rabbit trail, many rabbit trails at the same time, very quantum, because the 432 frequency, it's a frequency, and you could tune accordingly to it. But
Yeah.
also, when you listen to everything else, there are all different frequencies that come in all the time.
Yeah.
So it's both and,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I did start that like 15 years ago probably, and it's not something that people gravitate or don't. It's just certain demographics when you look at it as an artist,
yeah.
So it's good to have it all. Why not have it all? Why not create it all when you can, and not just be that way?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just, yeah, of course, but I'm just saying that I would love to be able to experience that, and write a few songs and play with other musicians in that particular frequency, because I know it's really worked for me,
Mhm.
and I think it's beautiful what it carries.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's what it stands for. It's just one note that you need to tune to, and then tune the rest accordingly to that. So some
Mm.
instruments are easier to tune than others. Like for example, I wouldn't be doing my piano by
Well, yeah.
myself. It's hard. It's a process, and also in my case, it's a little bit scary because the piano is really, really big and very expensive.
Yeah.
And then changing a string on a piano is a lot more complicated than changing it on my harp or a guitar, for example.
Mm.
Yeah, you really have to get in there.
So I have a question. Because I'm just about to, like, get back to, like I want to get like some Pro Tools. I'm wondering with that software if it's possible to actually, when you lay down a track that's been recorded in another frequency, can you change the frequency of the track?
Yeah, there are tools for that I have
Okay.
used. Yeah, you can. And usually you can use one too with different software, like the digital audio workstation, like
Mm-hmm.
for example, Logic or Ableton or Fruity Loops or whatever. So you could use like many tools with it that are called plugins, and
Plugins, yeah.
they're interchangeable. Like you can use them for any DAW.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, it's good to know because, I've been asking myself that question, and it's been weeks I keep postponing, like, okay, I'm gonna get this, and I'm just like, it's always something, and
Are
I've
you
been,
are you a singer?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I haven't
Well,
seen.
I'm a
Have you
bass player. I'm singer-songwriter. Yeah.
singer-songwriter? Cool, cool. Love that.
Yeah, you can tune your vocals easier than any of the instruments with 432.
Well, yeah, that's
No,
what I'm saying. When I play my guitar, I've been playing my guitar for years in 432 and my bass in 432, and it carries my voice. It takes my voice to really like, it's
amazing.
effortless. When I sing, this is why I, I really would like to push this a little bit further.
I love this. I feel like in your case, the best way would be to, tune, get a tuner, like a digital thing or on your phone, an app, anything. And then tune your instrument, guitar or bass, in
Well,
432, and
yeah.
then your vocals would be synced with that
Well,
frequency.
that's what I've been doing, Rosita.
And
I've been
yeah,
playing for
right, right.
years in 432.
And
But what I'm
and
saying is,
then
yeah.
and then record it that way. You know what I mean? Like acoustically instead of converting it. I
Oh
was
yeah,
just
yeah,
going.
yeah. No, I can do that. But if I want to work with some other musicians and they want to just like work on arrangements or orchestrations with me, and that they're just gonna do their thing and they don't care that I would like it to be in 432. So, but if I record myself, I usually, yeah, I do that already. But it's about being able to play with other people who are kind of on the same wavelength than
They would
me.
listen. They would have to listen to the sound and use their ear versus using a MIDI file or something that is already like written on certain pitch or frequency. So like if they use their ear, they're not gonna be even aware that they're getting into,
Yeah.
like it won't be rationalizing. Oh, it's actually a little bit too sharp to be an A,
Mm.
a little bit shy of a B or whatever. They would be just like tuning into the sound, working with you. So like that's what I said with like audio files, that works really well with if somebody across the world that you don't meet in person, but you're exchanging files with audio files would be better than
Mm.
MIDI, because it would get really messy with MIDI files if you are tuned in 432 and everything else is 440 already.
Oh yeah.
So audio files.
Well,
Or in person.
that's what happened. Like I was in Nice and he was in London, and I just that's the last song I released, and unfortunately, it's just not what I was hoping it would be, because I've sent him a recording of the song just like that, and he's just put back everything himself, and he's done it his own way. So I was a bit like, oh,
Yeah. But
yeah.
sometimes you either get what you want or you learn the lesson that
Yeah.
you
I
need.
love the song. I love the recording, and it's a great song, but it's just, I would like to do it. I would like to redo it differently. And I would like to find people who are attuned, on that vibration, on that frequency.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully you will soon.
Yeah. I mean that's one of the reasons I'm here too, because I know pretty much the people here on this call are quite you know advanced in their awareness, and it's and a lot of people are already doing that, so
Yeah. Share some of your stuff whenever it is in the flow. Like share more stuff all the time. You know?
yeah, I just don't have like this the space at the moment, because I'm looking for a home. It's been 20 months we're on the road, and it's just like we need to find our base now. So I'm really kind of focused on that. And I've started school, and I'd like to do more, but yeah, it's gonna get there. Once
Yeah.
I've got my base, it's gonna be a bit easier to connect more and to engage more.
Yeah, everything happens in divine timing.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's lovely to hold this space. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much everyone for coming. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hearts. I'm gonna go, and I would let you stay if you like. Have a good
Yeah,
weekend.
Have a
I've
good
got
one,
to
guys.
do so. You
Thank
all take
you.
care. It was nice meeting you all.
Bye. Take care.
Bye bye. Have a nice
Bye.
weekend. Cheers.